Specifically today, we're going to try and think about how we're already working in partnership and look at some examples of where that is working well. Think about what more or what different we could do in the future to build on this, and think about how we can hear more from you as we go forward if we continue this kind of network. And Barnardo is happy to be the convener, but that's all we are really, to help and support, but to also invest in the grassroots of community organizations which you very ably represent.
I'd like to bring to your attention one young person, 7-year-old boy from an Afro-Caribbean background. His parents had struggled to get the school to actually classify him as SEND. We found that he displayed all symptoms of SEND, but unfortunately he wasn't diagnosed. He came into our camp over the summer. Unfortunately, mother was a critical worker. Nan used to drop him off. And I'm very pleased to say that as soon as he came to the camp, first thing he found was company of other young people. Secondly, all the fun with regards to drama, with regards to sport, he engaged well. His anxiety level started dropping, and this is only, we're talking about the month of August, within 1 month. Not only that, he had lost complete structure of his day. So, his discipline and everything kind of came back, because now he has to come a particular time, go at a particular time. He got one-to-one support with regards to his mental health. And I'm pleased to say this young person, the mother was overjoyed by the time we'd actually finished that. She said she cannot recognize her own child after this period of lockdown.
Back in 2018, we were funded by Comic Relief to deliver a national forced marriage prevention and awareness campaign. It was named Our Girl, although we recognise that forced marriages also affect men and boys. And this was led to ensure that we were able to provide the correct platforms and support for those affected by forced marriage, but also to prevent it happening in the first place. We very quickly acknowledged that we can't do this on our own. So what we did was we tendered out for 5 further charities to apply to develop their own Our Girl campaigns in their own areas. And that included everywhere from Blackburn to Birmingham, London to Luton, and everywhere in between. What it meant was that each region was able, and each partner was able to take a more personalised response to tackling forced marriages. Some worked with schools and teachers, others worked with imams and religious leaders, some worked within communities, others used play and theatre and drama to really raise awareness of the issues. And so it was a very broad approach that we took. It's very difficult, and I'm sure many of the people on this call can recognise how important it is, about how difficult and some of the challenges there can be in partnership working within particular sectors. We were really delighted with our partners, and collectively over the period of that campaign we were able to support directly over 11,000 beneficiaries, young people. We were also able to work around several hundred, I think around about 350 schools across the UK, and ensure that a reach through our social media campaigns to over 6 million people. So we knew that we couldn't do that on our own, but collectively we were able to have a much more broader impact than we would have done without them.
We know many children feel worried about approaching statutory agencies. Some of those children have also told us they're worried about approaching Barnardo's as a large children's organisations. However, what we found is the smaller grassroots charities, because of their links with those children and young people, could actually get access to those children. That really got me thinking, we've got something together here that is really exciting and really vital.
A person is a person no matter how small. So that's the motto, and that's our passion that drives us. From fundraising to build writers to policy developers, we are missing all these talents. And this is not only Friends of the Home Foundation's experience, but we encounter every day that similar smaller BAME organizations also suffer this shortage of talents. I can wholeheartedly attest here that if Barnardo's and other similar national entities focus on building the capacity of smaller organizations, the vital service these smaller organizations deliver will be improved more than 60%, as they have local and grassroots level access to the communities they serve.
I know that we have wealth of knowledge. There are capacities amongst us. We have many skilled and knowledgeable people within these different organizations. And as Michelle said, I will actually believe that we need to pull our resources together. We need to pull our know-how together, and the research actually have a kind of a think tank that we all will come together and carry out research. We shouldn't let other people, do their research on our behalf. We know ourselves much better. We have lived experiences.
Down to the House of Commons as part of it, APPG stood up for the BME communities back in 2013, and we were given a weekend to put something in there about the BAME, for want of a better word, communities into that manifesto. And still things haven't changed so much over the years. I don't see things changing, things moving on. We're still here talking about how can many of the national organisations get in contact better with our communities. There's many organisations here, and Barnardo's are doing a great job in reaching those communities through those organisations. And we do know that those organisations do trust us, do respond to us, do take on board what we're saying, and we have lots of evidence that we've published of the changes that have taken place from parents that have attended our programmes.
One of the things we need to look at going into what they call the new norm is what is safe. What may be safe for us is not safe for somebody else. It could be a person that they feel they can talk to. And what we've come to recognise is the responsibilities as leaders in the community that we have is we could be that person's safe haven without them even knowing that. And when that's taken away from them, where do they go? So, we've got such a huge responsibility, and I think we need to work collectively.
Improvements are going to disappear, and we have a really big role in this. And I think community organisations and those partnerships to reach people that perhaps are reluctant to go to their GP because they might feel that they're being judged for whatever reason, or just get lost in the system, are going to play a huge part in this. And as part of my kind of strategy and plan, I want to really try and take all of this on board, as well as obviously health inequalities as well, that we all kind of are really well experienced in.
As organizations, we need to be now look out how we can be proactive rather than reactive. A lot of the services I think we've provided thus far has been reactive because of the nature of COVID. It's been so unpredictable. But now going forward, we have to look at how can we be proactive, because we don't know how many months this will go on. We don't know what the greater impact it will be, in the medium to long term. So that's one of the purposes of the Work Fund, is to help those individuals who have been made redundant, who have been furloughed, to raise their skill sets through courses, through training, through licenses, to raise income.
In terms of partnerships, I have to be blunt and frank. It's good to have platitudes, good feeling, vibes about becoming partners and working together. I think it's about, concrete ideas around which people can meet. Otherwise, all that good feeling deteriorates and we see ourselves falling face first, after 8 or 12 months of a partnership, if it doesn't boil down to anything concrete.
Nobody knows our communities better than we do, and don't let anybody tell you otherwise. This is about making a difference. There are too many talk shops, unfortunately, but very few people who want to roll up their sleeves and say, I'm in it for thick or thin. Whether there's funding there or not, you have my pledge. How can I help you? What can I do? And how can we knock on the doors that we have access to? And if we don't have access to them, who on this table has access to them?
I agree that there's a need to have a joined up approach to look at the needs, particularly of Black and minority ethnic children and young people. these conversations are really overdue, and more than conversations, we need action and a strategy and resourcing, which should not only come from the third sector but from public sector and so on.
And it's got to be more than a talking shop. That's the key message from all of us, isn't it? I know I saw everybody nodding to that. Got to be more than a talking shop. There's got to be some kind of, something that comes out of this, which isn't always going to be about individual funding for an individual organization. But is there a, greater cause that we can be part of, and then some tangible way see it shift over the next months, over the years? And there's only one reason for it, because we deeply care about the plight of really vulnerable BAME children and young people that often are either on the end of somebody's list or not on the list at all.